Hello everybody, welcome to the Kiali Sprint 89 community meeting and demo. And on the end of this sprint, Kiali release number 1.59 will be released. And during this demo, we will discuss what will be released. And here is the agenda of this call. So we will talk about the sprint summary of Sprint 89, what was done, what is in progress. We will show the Kiali upcoming release 1.99 highlights, all the done items and what is in progress. So then we will do the preview of the next sprint, and we will have a time slot for community discussions. So let's go. During this sprint 89, we have completed 21 items in Kiali project. There are 10 in progress items, and 6 of them are in review, and we have remaining 8 issues in the backlog to be resolved. And so let's show the highlights. One of the main tasks which was completed during the sprint is showing the control plane status indicator in a Kiali overview page. So when there is a problem in control plane, the icon is shown in the overview card, and with the tooltip showing what is wrong there, so user can know what's going on, why there is a problem on control plane itself. The next done item was showing MTLS minimal version. So I will leave it for Josune to comment this slide. Josune?
Yes, thanks. Hi. So this is a new information added into the new control plane card, and this is to show the minimum protocol version that specifies the minimum TLS version for the connections that are between the Istio workloads. This is a setting that is by default not specified, so it will show N8 not applicable. But if we change that in the mesh config using the parameter min protocol version, we will be able to see the min protocol to be used in there. And also, to give more visibility, we add in the tooltip, in the locator icon, a tooltip with information about the certificates issuer and also about their validity timestamps to see if they are going to expire or not. This is information that we already have in the about information, but we wanted to be accessible. And also I mentioned that this is implemented as a feature flag, and that is enabled with the configuration item certificates information indicators. So it's not always going to be displayed. And that's it. Thanks, Heike.
Thank you, Josune. So the next slide is about work in progress work, which is about Canary upgrade status in overview page, and I will leave it for Leandro.
Okay, thank you, Heike. Yes, as Heike mentioned, this is a work in progress, but we wanted to mention in this demo and community meeting, just to get feedback. But this is what we have so far. So Kiali already have some capabilities to do Canary upgrades related to the Istio control plane. But in this time, we are adding in the control plane card some indications on the progress of that status, right? So you can see there is a percentage of the progress, the amount of namespaces that are migrated, and also we are indicating in every namespace to which control plane the namespace belong. For example, here we have some default control place that is the original one, and one that I called Canary. And you can see that these two namespaces, alpha and beta, are on the default, and Bookinfo is already migrated. So I think next community meeting we will do a live demo of this. But for now, I think this is all we have. Thank you, Heike.
Thank you, Leandro. So the next slide is working progress item, which is adding the gateway API support in the Kiali services wizard. So this is still not finished, and it will be released with the after the next sprint. So basically, it's when the Kubernetes gateway API is enabled on the environment, then Kiali Actions is possible to create the routing using that gateway API. Also, it can choose the existing Kubernetes API gateways or create a new gateway API for the HTTP route request. So this is still in progress. Will be released soon. And the next done item is remote Istio connection to the remote Istio, and I will give a word to Nick.
Thanks, Heike. Yeah, the point of this feature is for Kiali to support multiple deployment models and to increase the amount of ways that you can deploy Kiali. So what you see on the right there is an architecture diagram of different dependencies that Kiali has. One of those is the Istio server, and Kiali currently connects to Istio by port forwarding to the Istio pods. You don't always have access to the Istio pods, or Kiali may not be running in the same cluster. So this is a feature that allows you to specify a remote URL for Istio in case you have Istio running in a different cluster, or in case you don't have access to that namespace. So just allows Kiali to support more deployment models, step towards that. That's it. Thanks, Heike.
Thank you, Nick. And during this sprint, also the team had worked on several other items, such as on the overview page, control plane card is hiding memory or CPU charts when there is no data to show. And we had fixes on the Cypress testing. Several tests have been fixed or adjusted to run on OpenShift environment, as well as end-to-end tests are fixed and running on OpenShift environment. Then there was a known issue on the Kiali Wizards preview page when it was showing during doing preview and cancel, it was showing the previous state in the preview, which is fixed now. One important security fix is that the secrets are now injected into the pod file system, not as an environment variables. And one internal thing is that in the scaling script, it has added an option to specify number of workloads to scale to. Also, there was a bug when the UI was sending too much concurrent requests to the backend during the trace chart dragging there. So it is fixed, so no more concurrent requests into the backend. And another important thing upgrade which is work in progress, is to upgrading to Go version to 1.18.4, which will be released soon. So let's go to another part of our presentation, which is the Sprint 82 preview, and I will give a word to Jay. Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Heike. So, well, as you saw during this sprint demo, we have a variety of things in progress that are looking to get finished in the next sprint, so it'll be continuation of work on the control plane card in the overview page. That should get finished. And as you can tell, in general, we've been doing a lot of work to try to bring control plane information to the forefront of that overview page. We're going to continue to do that going forward in potentially a couple of ways. So keep an eye on that. And then, as we saw, there's also going to be a continuation of the Gateway API support, as this is, an important development going forward for Istio users and non-Istio users. But so we'll continue to do that. Both of those looking to get in and updated in the next release, which would be 1.50, 1.60. Although we'll have to see, we've also got the Istio 1.16 release coming, and we have to tie a version of Kiali to that. I think we had planned on 1.59, but depending on how things go, it might be nice to get 1.60 in there. We'll see. Looking a little bit more long range, Nick mentioned the deployment model support. This is a big topic for us that could potentially change things a little bit dramatically. So we're continuing to work on that, looking forward. And then, of course, as usual, bug fixes, all the usual stuff to continue to make things solid. For anybody using Red Hat's OpenShift Service Mesh product, that will go out supporting Istio 1.14, and we'll have Kiali version 1.57 as its embedded Kiali version. And that should be coming out pretty soon, I think before the next sprint end, if everything goes well. And I think that's all I've got. So thanks, Heike. Back to you.
Thank you, Jay. So now is the time for community discussions. I will stop sharing and I will stop the recording.